I'm loving the look of your rubbish.
How do you make money for nothing?
Don't throw that away yet.
The answer could be hiding in the 20 million tonnes of household waste we throw out every year.
What are you dropping off? Anything exciting?
That's why entrepreneur Sarah Moore wants to get her hands on things before they hit the skip.
I'm a passionate buyer, maker and user of old stuff, and I've turned that passion into a money-making business. I make new stuff out of old stuff and I sell it for a profit.
And with some of the country's elite designers and makers.
Wow.
Up your street.
Oh, Sarah.
She can transform her finds into desirable,
Those are amazing.
valuable,
I love them.
Good.
and let's hope, saleable items.
It's literally giving me goosebumps.
If Sarah is successful, then she can hand the profits back to the very people who had no idea there was cash to be made from their trash.
My goodness, that's absolutely wonderful.
Welcome to Dumar Recycling Centre, a steadfast hive of activity. And Sarah's on a mission to turn your trash into hard cash.
Well, that might look like a load of old rubbish to you, but to me, that is packed with potential profit. So I'm here to sift out the goodies from the garbage. Let's go get it.
But before you make a beeline for your local tip, take note. Sarah's been given special permission to seek out 3 items
What was it then?
that she can reclaim, revitalise and sell on for a profit.
Round 1.
Sarah spots a familiar face. She's seen Jonathan before, but she couldn't want what he has today, surely.
Oh, I've always wanted a washing machine. Hi there. Given up the ghost?
I think it has.
Doesn't look in too bad condition. Have you had it for a long time?
It's from a house that we've just moved into.
OK, so you don't really know what's going on with it. Oh, it's got a chain inside it.
There was some other junk left in the house.
Are you on a mission clearing out your house?
That was from a garage door, believe it or not.
How long have you been in your new house?
2 days.
2 days.
2 days.
You've got a sense of humour. You're not looking bad. I love the challenge of trying to make things out of things like your old washing machine or whoever's old washing machine it was. Would it be possible for me to take it away and to try and do something with it?
Be my guest. Fine.
Excellent. Well, I know that they're heavy and I know that they're full of interesting parts and exciting tubes and things. So I reckon there's potential to do something with it. If it works out, can I come and show you what has happened to your old washing machine?
I'd love you to, yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent indeed, Sarah. A good, clean start to today's proceedings. What does Jonathan think Sarah will do with it?
I couldn't imagine, apart from sell the stainless steel drum. It's just a pile of cables and circuit boards.
That's a fair point, Jonathan, but you'd be surprised what goes on in Sarah's mind.
Well, wouldn't it be lovely if there were a whole heap of projects you could make out of an old washing machine? Well, there are hundreds of things you can do with this. It's full of interesting pieces. It's got a lovely stainless steel drum and loads of metal on it. And I've got a really good idea about where to send this. I just don't know what it's going to be made into.
And the man ready to take on the challenge? Kev Paxton. Kev worked as an industrial blacksmith for over 20 years before giving it up to pursue his passion of forging reclaimed metal into works of art, inspired by the rugged beauty of the Scottish countryside and its wildlife.
I'm really happy to work with salvaged or reclaimed pieces. People chuck too much stuff out, you know, it's just like a disposable life we're living now. And to make something, you know, pretty out of something that somebody else sees as rubbish is kind of cool thing. I kind of like it.
Well, I'm glad you're up for a challenge, Kev, because there's a washing machine on its way. That's one item nicely tucked away. And as Sarah keeps a sharp eye on tip proceedings...
What's that? Somebody's had a go already, haven't they?
Dumar Recycling Centre is certainly making an impression on her.
Love the recycling centre. Look at those.
It's those little touches that make all the difference. And it looks like friends Lorna and Donnie are doing their best to add their own furnishings to the place.
Look at that chair. Hello there. Hi. Hello, I'm Sarah. Hi there, how do you do?
Hi, nice to meet you, Lorna.
Lorna, hi there, hello.
I'm Donnie.
Donna, hi there.
Sarah.
Nice stuff. What's happening here?
Well, this was a project that I started, but it was too much for me, so...
Really?
Yeah.
So were you going to have a go at reupholstering?
Well, you can see I've had a go.
These need to be longer, don't they?
Exactly.
You need one of those special
Yeah.
things that
Well, that's why I
pulls
left
tight.
it. Soon realised I'd done a bad job.
So when it started life, what did the chair look like when you got it?
Do you know, it was like a velvet, like
Okay.
a bright yellow velvet.
Wow.
And it had casters,
Right, and
which I
then
took off to fix, and yeah.
I've got a few projects around like this. Sometimes they're a bit overwhelming, aren't they? But it looks like a pretty little, what do you think, nursing chair
I
maybe?
thought maybe a nursing chair because it's so low.
Yeah, it's a really interesting shape. It's got 50s sort of flair,
Yeah,
hasn't it? Something
yeah.
like that. Well, would it be a project that I could take over and see if I can finish for you?
I'd love you to do that.
It looks like just the kind of thing that I always hope would turn up at the recycling centre. So, hey, fancy that. I'm loving it. I'm going to take it away, and when I've done something to it and finished with it, can I come and show you what's happened to it?
Of course, yes, yeah.
Thank you so much, and I'll be back in touch. Come and find you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A very pleasing find for Sarah. What do Lorna and Donnie think will become of their chair?
It's exciting. She's going to do marvellous things with it. I know she is.
It'll be lovely to see the finished product, won't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. Will it still be a chair?
Might not be.
You never know, ladies.
Well, it looks like the world and their wife have had a go at updating this chair. There's more tacks in it than you can point a stick at. But it's not going to stop me having a good go at it too. It's sweet, it's small, it'll go in a bedroom. There's nothing that will stop this going anywhere because it's such a cute size. So just got to make the most of it now. Very pleased to find that.
And the magnificent makers to take up this task, the Bristol Upholstery Collective. The collective is a maker's space that welcomes all with a shared passion for upholstery. Founded by Leanne Treadwell, this group of legendary ladies put their heads together to create furniture that has to be seen to be believed.
My style is very playful. I love to constantly challenge myself. I always want to do something new, and do it differently to how I might have done it before. If I wasn't an upholsterer, I reckon I'd be a back-end dancer. That was the dream in the 80s. MTV, I would have been there.
Glad to hear it, Leanne, because you're going to have to bust out some moves for this project. Two items loaded into the money-for-nothing van. It's time for Sarah to search for her own pound-making project.
Don't worry, I'll come and sit with you. There, that's better. Right, keep your eyes on the rubbish, yeah? Look at that.
And not a moment too soon, Rob has arrived. Let's hope he has a boot packed with scintillating scrap.
Hiya.
Oh, hello.
Oh, bit of an egg fan then.
Yes, we get through a lot of eggs.
What are you throwing out today then? Egg boxes and...
Cardboard, Z-bed, old radio.
Right. So quite interesting stuff, but I must admit, I think these might be the thing.
Well, I've tried to hand them back to the shops, but they're not really interested. I think they're a little bit too old.
Right. So do you buy them by the tray?
Oh, we buy them by the trayload, yeah. Yeah, that's for the past few weeks, yeah.
Excellent. So what did you bake?
Well, we had some guests and there was a lot of scrambled eggs recently. Yeah, but a lot of baking.
A lot of baking.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, what would you do with a load of those if you weren't going to throw them away?
Well, like you, I'd probably come up with some idea of painting them, but you've got the gen, I have no idea. What would you do with them?
Do you know something? I haven't got a clue, but
Yeah.
there are so many of them, and I'm just seeing that lovely pattern as you're holding them, and I'm thinking, I want those rather than putting them in the skip. Can I take them away?
You can have them with pleasure.
Now, it might be a long shot, but if there's something to be made out of them, do you want to have a laugh, and I'll come and find you and show you what it is?
Please do, yeah.
Fantastic.
I'd be delighted.
Well, that's great. Sorry, I'm Sarah.
OK, and I'm Rob.
Rob, I'll be back in touch. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. They're
Great.
quite unusual. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Sarah. Bye-bye.
Egg trays for Sarah. She's clearly feeling optimistic today. Any thoughts on what Sarah will do with them, Rob?
I've absolutely no idea. I mean, there's a challenge. I'm sure she'll come up with something. She has done before, she will do on these. She'll have great success somehow.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, sir.
I'm so excited I managed to poach these from Rob, because trays like this, well, there's a multitude of cracking ideas that you could do from these. Brain's a bit scrambled at the moment. Must be all the egg jokes. Honestly, a dozen egg trays doesn't get more exciting than this.
Well, maybe slight exaggeration there, Sarah. But there it is, 3 items found. Kev will tackle Jonathan's washing machine. Leanne and the gang will try to nurse Lorna's chair to good health. And Sarah plans to excite us all with Rob's egg trays. This is exhausting.
Well, who would have thought it? Such a variety of things have turned up here today. They're going to be interesting to make over, but I'm more than up for the challenge.
A hop, skip and a jump to the west is the beautiful city of Edinburgh. It's home to a real master of metalwork, our Kev. Cool, calm and always ready for action.
When she pitches up, we'll see what she's got and we'll hopefully be able to make something out of the goodies that she brings.
Well, Kev is my go-to man for metal, and I just hope I'm not pushing it too far by bringing him a washing machine. Think he's going to love it? Let's go find out. So I hope you don't mind. I brought you my washing machine.
Oh, wow. You've certainly brought enough water as well.
It's wet today, isn't it? Tell me, I think it is made of metal, isn't it? It feels heavy enough. It's not plastic, it is metal. So, is it
Sounds
something...
metal.
Do you think you can work with it?
I'll do something with it, yeah.
Really? Have you ever done anything with it before?
I washed my clothes once before with a washing machine. I've never made anything with one yet.
I know you like a challenge, don't you?
Yeah, I love a challenge.
Well, you certainly won't be disappointed this time.
The stainless steel or the drum inside them, they have been repurposed so many times. I mean, people make them into fire pits. I've seen all sorts of stuff made out of them. I was wondering about maybe using the holes in the washing machine to make some big lighting sculpture or something like that, but I'm all ears. Any ideas?
I think with the issues we're having to do with the weather, I maybe see a weather vane, maybe a cockerel or something on the end of a weather vane.
Out of that?
Use all the sheet metal up and make feathers and things like that.
I think that would be amazing, but I can't imagine at all what it's going to look like. What would you put on it?
I think maybe like a traditional rooster. Looks like there's loads of shapes and bits of metal that I can make feathers out of. I might have to rake in the skip for a wee bit heavier for legs, but apart from that, looks like we could do something.
A rooster out of a washing machine.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes.
Well, that was an unexpected outcome. What kind of budget does Kev have in mind?
We've just made one just now for $650. So it's sort of swinging about my head just now. That's maybe where the ideas came from.
OK.
So
And do you think I'm going to be pointing in the right direction for a profit on that?
I think there's good profit in that.
Fantastic. 650 quid for my old washing machine. I'll come and see you when it's done. Good luck. Hope it goes well.
Bring the sunshine back.
I will.
Yeah, that was a better turn up for the books, that one. Yeah, I'll be quite happy to get stuck into this one, and as ever, it'll be a challenge. But thrive on challenges, so yeah, let's do it.
Quite right.
Well, it had to be a weather vane, didn't it? I mean, look at it. There's all sorts going on here today. But I think 650 quid, it's going to look amazing. But is it going to go in the right direction for a good profit?
With a healthy budget of £650, Kev will need a solid wind at his back to help him with this one. The next port of call is one of the most famous ports of them all, Bristol. With its long history of trade, it's said that Bristolian sailors made landfall on the Americas before Christopher Columbus. Setting sail with Sarah on this task are Leanne and her collective crew. What's happening, Captain?
So Sarah's on her way, feeling pretty excited. Sarah always manages to find something really that we can get our teeth into.
Well, I brought this poor old nursing chair down to Bristol. It's an abandoned project. It's in a terrible state, but the girls down here, they love a challenge. Let's go and see what they make of this one.
Hi there. Hey.
How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Got a little something for you.
You have.
Nice
Have
to
you
see
already
you.
started?
I think it was a project that somebody has had a go at and given up the fight on. It has got more tacks in it than you can believe and staples all over it. What do you think?
Well, half my work's done already.
Well, at least it's stripped. It has, I think, been made over a few times. It's got... looks like it may have been extended at the sides and at the back.
It's almost like someone's put extra shapes on to enhance what's already there in the original frame.
Yeah, they've tried to give it an update, increase the angles, make it a bit funkier. And then I think it's got some really recent upholstery on it. Somebody's stripped it. These are new staples and new webbing. So I think it ended up at the tip as an abandoned project. It wasn't quite going to plan.
Speaking of plans, how does Sarah think Leanne should approach this particular project?
It's quite tricky to imagine how it would look all done again, but I was hoping we'd be able to reposition it to make it into something quite fun and exciting. How does that sound?
That sounds great. This shape needs enhancing to make it really bold and stand out, so we'll see what we can do. Maybe some patterns, bring some real punchy, fun colours, shapes.
I think those are just the right things that we should be throwing at this chair. It definitely needs some love and some cherishment, so I'm happy to hand it over. Have you got a figure in mind? Because it's not a huge chair.
It's not a huge chair, and actually, because it's small, I reckon in the region of 375.
OK, I was thinking 350, so if you're coming in about that, I think that's
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, OK, lovely. That would be great. Well, don't hold back, OK? Nice to see you. Have fun.
Thanks. So Sarah's left us a nursing chair. Exciting little project. I can't wait to see how this one turns out.
With a budget of £375, it will take all the collective skills of Leanne's team to turn this little chair into a big success story. Under the wide skies of the idyllic Sussex countryside, Sarah's at home in her workshop, preparing for her latest endeavour, the egg trays.
So you might wonder why I have saved 10 egg trays from going into the tip. And I have wondered that too, but I do think that they are lovely things. They're sculptural, they're a great piece of design. They're something that we see every day and we don't pay any attention to. But on closer inspection, I think they've got some great qualities. Really like all of these little dimples on the back, and I think these might be the features that make this a really useful material. So I'm thinking, if I can cut them out, get some lovely shapes, I can then make something decorative, probably lighting. First thing I'm going to do is cut them up and see how they look. These are really tricky to cut. I think they're slightly lumpy and the material is not exactly even, so just keep coming across bits that are almost impossible to cut through. Anyway, what else am I going to do?
Considering the amount of cutting required, getting some help would be marvellous.
This was supposed to be one of my best projects ever.
It will be.
Ah, help and encouragement. Thanks, Libby. But it looks like the scissors aren't quite cutting it.
I think this will work. Excellent.
Oh, Sarah, let's try to ignore that. What's next, please?
So my plan is to dip these into liquid plaster of Paris, and I'm just popping a little wire inside them to make the dipping easy and so I can attach them afterwards. 300 of those? No problem. Well, these look like a lovely pile of components. Time to dip them in plaster of Paris, which is quite tricky because it goes off really quickly, so some fast-moving stuff, I think.
As well as working at a quick pace, it's also essential to always wear gloves when working with plaster of Paris.
Really love the idea of working with plaster of Paris because I think it makes it feel like porcelain. While those are all drying, I thought I'd crack on and make the structure of the lampshade. I want something really big and impressive, and this old standard shade is just the right structure, I hope, for pinning all those to. I'm planning to cut it up, tweak the shape of it so it's still nice and strong, and then attach those to it. Should be fine. So this chicken wire is going to be my final layer of the skeleton, and then I can start attaching little cones. Don't know if I've got enough of these. I suppose just start at the bottom and work up.
Looks like quite a big area to cover, Sarah. Good luck. Sarah's costs so far are a modest £21, but there's plenty still to do to whisk this project into shape. On the edge of Scotland's spectacular capital city, Kev is bringing his usual optimism to his task of transforming the washing machine.
Yeah, this is going to be really fun. It's something really unusual for me to do this one. Totally pushing my limits here. I'm barely going to have enough materials by the look of it. I thought when I first saw it, it was going to be pretty, you know, loads of materials. But now I see how many parts of plastic are on it, I'm thinking, oh no, I don't make plastic weather vanes, so yeah, we'll have to see.
Kev's first job is to start taking it apart to get a proper look at how much usable material he has for the weather vane. And then it's on to the design itself.
So what we're going to do is we're going to make a rooster, big weathercock, and sort of give him like a big sort of crown, a Mohican, a bit like myself, and loads of wee feathers, you know, all laid on top of each other. All sort of, you know, feather shapes and coming down, and a big sort of, you know, like a French-style rooster, a big sort of proud tail or an arrogant tail, depending on the way you want to look at it. So quite labour-intensive. Just hopefully we've got enough material in the washing machine. Or Sarah's going to have to bring a tumble dryer to me as well.
There'd be plenty to choose from at the tip, as it happens. The number of electronic goods being thrown out is on the rise, with over a whopping 900,000 tonnes being dumped in the UK every year.
We've got to buff some of the paint off of this part of the washing machine. Now, we'll do a wee trial with it. We need to take the paint off it so we can get an earth for the plasma. So we'll do a wee trial before we strip the rest of the machine down and then see if we've got enough for feathers. There's sparks coming for it, that's always a good sign. It means there's some iron on it, which keeps me happy.
If you're happy, Kev, then we're happy. Next up, it's time to cut out some parts for the weather vane and find out if there'll be enough to make the cockerel.
So I'm going to do his comb, the wee sort of jowly hanging down bits that come from his beak, and a couple of the big sort of tail feathers. So what we do now with our parts is we put them together, or roughly together, just to make sure that's how we're going to go. So we've got his like part of his tail, that'll be his comb. We'll forge this bit and get a wee bit more sort of texture into it. His jewels, and then all these wee parts are just sort of, you know, sort of like banana shapes. We'll just sort of lay them all in, and it then sort of becomes like feathers. So it's just sort of like a jigsaw. And unfortunately, the picture of the jigsaw's in my head, which makes it scary.
Time to get some more pieces for that jigsaw. There's a serious amount of graft to be done. In the beautiful city of Bristol, the girls are about to get started on the old nursing chair. What's the plan, Leanne?
So this is someone's abandoned project, obviously, and we're going to stick with it. We're going to continue this project. I'm going to get a little bit of help. Ellen and Charlotte are going to get involved. We're going to make this really bold, bright, maybe quite carnival. I don't know, let's see how we get on.
Oh, who doesn't like a bit of carnival? Time for Ellen and Charlotte to join the festivities.
So this is our next project. I think it's all right. The frame's sturdy enough. It's had all these additional bits put on it. Obviously, it needs a lot of stripping still, but most of it's done, which is great. But there's still some bits left. Let's finish it for them.
Ellen and Charlotte are going to focus on stripping the rest of the chair, while Leanne begins preparing the different layering. What do you think of this little project, Charlotte?
I like the chair. It's got a good shape to it.
Charlotte may like the shape, but it is a little unconventional, giving the girls a few things to think about.
How's it going?
Good, I think we've got all the
done
there.
there. Great.
Yeah.
Amazing. Should we flip it back up and actually see what we're left with? Brilliant. Oh, thanks for that. That looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, nice sturdy frame.
Easy. So next we just do some webbing, ready for the foam bits to drop on. I've measured the back of the chair here, and actually whilst the girls are still putting on the webbing, I'm gonna cut a piece of foam that can wrap all the way around the back, that beautiful curve in the triangular shape of the back of the chair.
I'm just putting webbing on the bottom of the seat so it's nice and strong and people can sit in it for lots and lots of years to come.
Once the webbing is in place, Ellen will apply some Hessian fabric. Industry standard, it provides a strong foundation for the foam that will follow.
Great. The girls are off getting a cup of tea. They've finished putting all this together. Let's just see if this is going to fit.
Leanne and the girls are underway with reviving this old nursing chair. But with the upholstery still to do, the chair's unique frame could still complicate the whole operation. In Sussex, Sarah is putting the finishing touches to her egg tray lampshade.
Well, if life gives you egg boxes, make luxury lighting. It's the only thing to do.
When Sarah spotted the collection of egg trays, she optimistically thought, I could do something with those. And amazingly, she was absolutely right. A lot of time and effort went into cutting up the trays before the cardboard egg cups were covered in plaster of Paris. Sarah shaped the lamp from an old lampshade and chicken wire and added paper leaves that she dipped in plaster of Paris before spraying them with gold paint, creating a show-stopping light fitting from some tatty old cardboard needed a lot of vision. But then we are talking about Sarah.
So what do you think? I reckon it's a cracker. Actually, I'm going to try not to make any more references to the egg boxes, apart from saying that they inspired this light. I think, altogether, it's rocking a certain look. I don't know if it's going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm hoping somebody will give it a new home, because to turn a profit on a couple of egg trays, that would be amazing.
When Sarah met Rob at the recycling centre, he was positive but also aware that she certainly faced quite a test.
That is a challenge. I'm sure she'll come up with something.
It was certainly an undertaking, but Sarah had a vision. It was ambitious, but thankfully it was also a success. Sarah took some pretty pictures, uploaded them to social media, and the lampshade sold to a private buyer. Now Sarah's off to visit Rob to hand over the profit.
Hello, Rob.
Oh, Sarah, hi.
Nice to see you.
And you again.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Yeah.
So, if there has to be something that's unusual that I've taken from the tip, it must be the egg trays.
Well, I do wonder what you made of them.
I worked on them, and a bit of a challenge, and I went through all sorts of ideas, but I decided that lighting was the thing to do with your egg boxes.
Really?
Do you want to see it?
Oh, yes, please.
So, they now look
Wow.
like that.
My goodness me.
So I dipped them
I would never have thought that.
I dipped them in plaster of Paris. I mounted them on chicken wire because I thought it was appropriate, and I put some light inside them. So that's how they ended up. What do you think?
That's brilliant. Very good. Very good. Excellent.
See? You can't help yourself, can you? I've been doing it all the time.
Yeah.
It was a lovely, fun project. It took quite a while,
All right.
but I did manage to create something that was saleable, and I didn't think I was going to. So I'm pleased to say that it's actually sold as well. And I've got £124 here for you, for your egg trays.
You're joking?
Nope.
Wow. That's amazing. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Slightly surprising amount of money
Very
there.
surprising. Honestly, that is amazing from some egg boxes. God, lovely amount.
Do you have anything in mind that you might spend that on?
A wedding anniversary holiday.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that should buy you a nice supper or something like that.
Well, indeed. Thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I think Rob was a little bit surprised with the outcome of what happened to his egg trays. And if you want to have a go, it's a cracking project.
Sarah's costs came to £21. The lampshade was sold for £145, giving Rob a tidy profit of £124. Edinburgh, Scotland, where the winters are long, but there's plenty of creativity to warm your heart. Kev's busy in his workshop applying the finishing touches to what was once a worn-out washing machine.
Sarah dropped off a wash machine, and I'm happy with how the items turned out. I'm just hoping Sarah is equally as happy as I am.
Well, you're about to find out, Kev.
So £650 to turn a washing machine into a weather vane. That's an obvious choice, isn't it? Can't imagine what it's going to look like. Let's go and find out what kind of spin Kev's put on it.
Sarah spotted the washing machine at the recycling centre. If ever there was a piece of junk that was all washed up, this was it. But just look what's come out in the wash. Making use of every piece of metal he could strip from the washing machine, Kev has cut, forged and sculpted to create some serious sunshine with his weather vane. But what will Sarah make of it?
Hiya. Oh, wow.
Hello.
What have you done with my washing machine? Is that really a washing machine?
That was a washing machine.
It's really difficult to imagine what you might have to do to a washing machine to turn it into a weather vane, but whatever it is, it's clearly working. How was it? What have you done?
I dissected the washing machine. I cut all the panels off, and basically I'm left with sheet metal. Cut them into feathers and combs and pieces and just weld it all together.
So in terms of what came out of the washing machine, was it strictly the cockerel, or are any of these bits washing machine related?
The feather on the arrow and the cockerel, all of that is the washing machine. The other parts, I needed these to be solid, so I needed to use parts out of my own skip, just so it didn't blow too much in the wind.
It's a really beautiful thing, isn't it? And I like the fact you've added a bit of colour.
He's cheeky.
He has got so much attitude.
Maybe his chest's a wee bit more out than the others, so maybe he's a wee bit prouder. Maybe the fact that it's, hey, I was a washing machine, but I'm top bird now.
Top bird is right. But how did we fare with the budget?
So I think the budget was $650. How did the money work out?
Yeah, I managed to come within budget.
Do you think this is the world's first washing machine weather vane?
It very possibly could be.
It's beautifully done. I just love his attitude. I think on the top of a building, he's going to look just amazing.
And if he is the world's first washing machine weather vane,
Thank you so much for that.
then it'll be a lovely new feather in Kev's cap.
To make it so people smell is the important thing, and that worked. You know, Sarah's smell was beaming when she walked in, which makes me smell, you know, well happy.
Well, it's a bit of a leap of faith investing £650 in a washing machine. But that weather vane is going to be the crowning glory on somebody's very special building. And on that basis, I think that is definitely a winner.
When Sarah met Jonathan at the tip, the old appliances from his new house had to go.
It's just a pile of cables and circuit boards.
Don't forget a little metal. And in Kev's hands, that's all you need. And at The View, a wedding venue near Bathgate, all you need is love. And, of course, a weather vane of the highest quality. Event coordinator Jenny tells us why.
When we first seen it, it was just so unique. We just thought it would fit the venue perfectly, and it's just amazing. The detail in it is unreal.
Now, Sarah is off to see Jonathan to hand over some cash.
Hello there.
Hi.
Jonathan, nice
Sarah.
to see you. Well, when I saw you at the recycling centre, you were actually dropping off stuff that other people had left here, weren't you?
A washing machine, yeah.
Yeah, so...
So I can't imagine what you've turned that into.
Well, it didn't go far. There's a fantastic blacksmith artist who works near here called Kev, and he specialises in using any sort of metal to make things out of. And he took one look at the washing machine and went, so obvious.
So obvious.
It's a weather vane.
What?
I cannot believe that was the washing machine.
So all the panels of your washing machine cut up to make the feathers. He's used some of the bits in the other parts of the weather vane and transformed it into a beautiful, useful piece of equipment. What do you think?
When do I put it on the roof?
I wish it was that simple. Are you impressed that came out of your washing machine?
I am impressed, yeah. I'm really surprised. I would never have thought he would be... Well, he's cut it up into small pieces and fabricated a cockerel out of it, which is amazing.
It is a really good-looking piece. It was a big investment to have made, but his work is fantastic. So I'm really pleased that it's sold, and there is some profit for you here.
Oh, fantastic.
I've got £50 profit there for you.
Well, thank you very much. But we're not going to keep it. We're going to give it to the local lifeboat, Dunbar Lifeboat.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I can see how close you are to the sea, so I expect that it's quite busy around here.
Just being careful, because I like a bit of canoeing.
Oh, we'll get in there early with that, then.
There you go, one happy customer and a great cause.
Well, you learn to expect the unexpected, don't you? A weather vane made out of a washing machine and a great profit for the local lifeboat crew.
Kev's cost for the weather vane was £650. It was sold for £700, giving Jonathan a profit, obviously, of £50. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Bristol was once voted the best place to live in the UK. And I'm sure Leanne would agree, as she gives the nursing chair a final rub down.
Sarah's specified that it was going to be making the most of the features of the it was an abandoned project, so there were various different shapes that we really wanted to accentuate. I think we've done that. I think she's going to be pretty impressed.
Well, it's great to be back in Bristol to pick up that nursing chair. It had really lost its sense of identity, but I'm hoping Leanne and the team have given it a whole new look and a great personality.
When Sarah found the old nursing chair at the tip, all attempts to transform it had failed. But now the transformation is complete. Keeping the chair's shape, the collective used it as a springboard to enhance every aspect of the chair. From the new cushioned seat to the colourful legs to the smooth and bright fabrics which meet all UK fire safety standards. Leanne promised a carnival, but will Sarah join the fiesta?
Leanne? Hey. Oh, wow. Look at that. What have you done? Oh,
It's pretty bright.
Really transformed that, haven't you? What a great look. It's lovely. Were you pleased with it?
I love it.
So I'm just imagining, what have you done with the shape? Did you slim it back down? Or have
Actually, we worked with the shape that was already intended before when you dropped it off here. We just worked from that frame.
But you've given that a real boost, haven't you?
Yeah, it's kind of in proportion.
This is lovely. It feels frivolous, doesn't it?
That splash of neon really just brings it alive.
It's beautiful. And so the fabric...
So this is a local artist in Bristol. That's her design. So we had it printed.
Fantastic, and a lovely moleskin feeling to it.
Great. And then this is a lovely suede.
That is beautiful, and piped in suede as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's got a luxury feel to it, hasn't it?
It's brilliant.
And looking around the back and seeing that lovely, bright pom-pom strip, really frivolous, isn't it?
It's great.
And it's very clever just to pick out the bits on the legs.
A very satisfied Sarah. Time to talk budget.
I did have a budget, I think, 375, but has that been affected by addition of suede?
This project was actually quite a simple one. It was quite quick to do. The materials were really affordable. So we have come in under budget, so I might just have to knock 50 quid off for you.
50 quid off? Fantastic news. Really chuffed with that. Really chuffed with that.
It appears that Sarah is extremely chuffed, and she's not alone.
I'm really happy with this project. I think Sarah really liked it. I'm really hoping that it makes a nice profit for her. I think it should do. It's a great little chair. Someone's going to love it, that's for sure.
There's a lot of love going round for this chair. Thank you, ladies. You done good.
Well, that's the way to do it. A fantastic new look and a super saleable chair.
When Sarah met her at the skip, Lorna was reluctantly saying goodbye to an unfinished venture.
This was a project that I started, but it was too much for me, so...
Really?
Yeah.
With Lorna providing the perfect frame to work from, Leanne and her ladies brought it all home. And soon it was arriving at its new abode, Wreckage at Home, a vintage interior shop in Doncaster. For owner Rachel, it was a no-brainer.
The pom-poms attracted me straight away to this chair, and it's really vibrant and funky, and our customers will love it.
Now Sarah's bound for Bonnie, Scotland, to hand over the profit to Lorna.
Hello.
Hello, Sarah.
Lovely to see you, Lorna. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really well, really well. So I caught you at the tip, disposing of an armchair that you'd started working on it, hadn't you? Wasn't it a project?
Well, I'd stripped it bare and then didn't have time to finish it.
It was a really sweet little chair, good shape.
Yeah.
But what were you going to do with it? What colour were you going for? What was the plan?
Well, I thought it was kind of retro, so I probably would have maybe picked something colourful and bright, maybe a retro fabric. I hadn't really thought too much about it.
Oh, well, that's always interesting to hear. It was something that actually went down to Bristol. There's a group of girls down there who run this fantastic cooperative of upholsterers, and they took it on between them, and I've got some pictures to show you. And I think it might be up your street.
Oh, my goodness, it was fantastic.
Is it
Oh,
right?
I would never have done anything like that with it.
They have chosen a bespoke print for it, a beautiful designer fabric. It's got pom-poms, it's piped, it's got suede.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Do you like it?
Back, please.
No, it's gone off to a new home. So there's some money.
Is that all good?
It's £45 profit after all the costs, so there's a little bit of money, maybe.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's an absolute pleasure. What might you do with £45?
Well, there's an art exhibition at the weekend and there's a painting I like, so I'll put it towards that.
Oh, I'm so pleased you like it. Well, enjoy the exhibition.
Thank you. Thank
Absolute
you for doing
pleasure.
that.
It's a pleasure.
It's lovely to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
bye.
Leanne and the gang came in under budget at £325. The chair sold for £370, leaving Lorna with a £45 profit. Sarah salvaged 3 items from the tip. It was carnival time in Bristol with the nursing chair. Kev had us in a spin with his weather vane. And Sarah shone a light on what can be achieved with egg trays. Extraordinary. Sorry, one for the road, that was.
So that's 3 more items that have been saved from the skips and useful chunks of money handed over to people whose items were destined to be dumped.